spiritual maturity. There are many people who claim to be Christians, yet they are just a fan of Jesus, not a follower of Jesus. You can be a fan to Messi because he is skillful in playing football, but you may not have an encounter with Messi to be able to talk about Messi. It is a minimum yesu nkyerese minimum no saa. Matini die hu ne nwan wade oye. Ewo Bible buba. Some of us, you serve him because you have heard about him. You don't serve him because you have an encounter with him. Now listen, I'm talking about spiritual maturity. Now the reason why God manifested in the form of a man, came through the womb of a woman, and then became Jesus, and then lived on this earth, did everything he could do on this earth, was the fact that God wanted us to understand that he understands us. Number one, can I say in the days of Jesus, he had an encounter with the Pharisees. The Pharisees tempted Jesus in every way, yet the man never sinned, as human as he was. There are times we meet people, and when we talk about the Christ-like life, with them, they talk like, oh, yes, you are not your spirit. Yes, you know your yami. Yes, you now we yami sunsuma wasro. But he came in the form of a man, so that the life he lived here, he will set an example for us to know and understand that. So no bahabe ye nipa. Now we betu nipa nenso to me bobra power. Yes, so even though we are human, like he came to be, yes, so you bet me about Sabrano. Am I blessing somebody? Now let me tell you something. One of the most frustrating things in the church is to serve God for years and never growing. And you can see that time is set. Anyone far anyone anymore down. We go to church to fellowship with one another so that we can express the likeness of Christ. Yes, subine. You cannot serve God and live anyhow and not live like Christ. Because everything you can talk about, Jesus came on this earth and he went through it. If you want to talk about betrayal, Judas betrayed him. If you want to talk about promise and fail, Peter made a promise and failed him. If you want to talk about people trapping him and people criticizing him, the Pharisees, they did it. If you want to talk about people naming him or giving him a bad tag, giving him names that are not real or that wasn't real. Are you here? Yes, or you shall bonny. Yes, yes, be yes, you are God. You are the Son of the living God. Oh no, he is the man that Isaiah shall come. Imagine that somebody makes a promise to you and disappoint you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me chip in this and say this: that in your life, nobody owns you. Is it not wonderful that there are times you need to part to me because we expected too much from them? Ebi obi asami boso be ma de we nya ma o obi a otai boa se se we jai mo ano o obi a utadi didi kokonsa se se o friend na wonfa. Suddenly sometimes you feel like they own you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be matured, number one, you need to understand that you need to walk the talk and talk the walk. You don't walk around to talk about Jesus when you are not able to practice the deeds, the works, and the acts of Jesus. You cannot tell me you are a Christian, but you can live the way you want. It doesn't work like that. So number one sign you are mature, you are able to forgive without any permission. Spiritual maturity is when your lifestyle is becoming like Christ. If your lifestyle is opposite Jesus, you are far away from Christianity. Look at your prayer life. Look at the way you read your Bible. Look at your fasting life. Look at your passion towards coming to church. Can you look at it and tell me that this is the way Jesus came to serve his Father? I and my Father are one. Who do you need? You can't even boast and say, I and Jesus are one. Number one sign that you are growing in the Lord is when you don't keep bitterness in your heart. Imagine Jesus, he decided that he's keeping bitterness in his heart against all those who lied against him, spoke evil, or said evil things about him. Even on the cross, whilst he was being beaten, he was forgiving sin. Even when people lied, sometimes I say, Joseph, Joseph. Said in Yanamatono, I can't assume. No, I call that prison, Miss Silver Cabatufu. See, Joe, saying, I'm dumb. Now are you free? Jamestown, prison, Hano P. Joe, you see whom you are much, no, you're wicked. You only know my omuchu. Me, Mommy, dear. If you saw better priest, you can be no monkasayo. Ukra no one because obi no obi ya ka wutumi koma no. It's a sign of immaturity. Obi no obi ya ka nti onso opportunity na ya ka. Ade awadamfo no obi nkasa nti onso ne ya. You are not matured. Imagine Yesu ya body chimba pow pow pow. Now I shark one no try na ba na pe ni. Where does that say? My size, who do be? Say me wu na me sorry a. Wo ya me tag say me wu na me sorry a. Say me wu na me sorry pa me yesunsumo. Say me twa wani so awu hu me. Imagine someone a obo. Listen to this. You can never be elevated and God cannot lift you when you are bitter about people who must enjoy your celebration. If you want to become like Christ, be deaf to people saying. Close your ears to what people say. And they say, and I won't tell the other, and what say, or be no! They say, cry the idea may grow wings on it. It's when I am walking around and you are talking about me, I rejoice. It's a sign that I'm so important that you need to discuss me. But you're so important that you are not a discussion. You cannot be a topic. You can't. But also be born, come on, say, Yami because baby, it has me who offer a chain and any breme. Ah, come on. Why would you talk about somebody if the person is nothing? How many times have you seen people talk about a mad person? So, number 2 sign that spiritually you are not matured in the things of God is when you are easily angry. The biabrofobia, the bianu biayaka, the bianu irako, the bianu kwako, the bianu adamfako, the bianu fianciako. No! And that is why you cannot enter the church with anger. Now, buofu. Asori o obi buofu owure obu okro ba asori a wosire o owure ma no wa arrange nanim enemensere obi akasa me wa me fi ya tell me to be da ya kasa yen kasa bi da o kana Linda you okay? Linda, that's why you're doing. Linda, are you okay? You're okay. Kasado. It's a sign of immaturity. Yeah, what they mean, something is wrong with all of us. Things are not good for all of us. Yet there should be a smile on our faces. You are not the only person with problems in this world. You are not the only person with calamities all around you. Everything is not working. Yes, so something is not working. Yet there is a smile on our faces. Sister, don't allow anybody to trigger your anger and make you feel bitter about yourself. No, you don't need it. So, who have a problem with anger until today, as I'm speaking, spiritually you are not matured. So, if you see anybody you see before, now, but people say, "Wabufu now, bufu, you know the ending." Did you settle issue with it? Were you able to buy a car out of it? Were you able to buy a land out of it? Were you able to buy a house out of it? No. What are you using the anger for? Another sign spiritually, you are not matured. You are not there. You are immature. It's when you cannot handle criticism. When somebody criticizes you about something, talk about Suma! One dressy na buofu. Unim kasa na buofu. Wanum kasa nye na buofu. As a bibi koye na buofu. Anytime people talk about you, something that listen, if everybody meets you and say positive things about you, you are in danger. If everybody will meet you and love you, even Jesus said it, that woe unto you if all men say good things about you. Wadam for nekaya say one ne yaka ade a one number bibia be ye bianye bibia be ye bianye bibia be ye bianye to my imagine madam for me blocking. The truth is that that is a good friend. A good friend will not allow you to do things anyhow. Obonajin eltsere obanaje no obo a oboni nyansam. Hey, who do men say that I am? Some say you are John the Baptist. Some say you are Elijah. Some say you are Moses. Some are even saying that you are one of the old prophets. No, say, so you people, who do you also say I am? Now we are born, now we are born. Peter Hedy also say, you are the son of the living God. So people were talking, Jesus could hear, but he was never offended. But he was rather guiding his life. Am I blessing somebody? Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot handle criticism in your friendship with whoever, you are not matured. Another sign you are not spiritually matured is when you tell people lies when you should have told them the truth. Don't look at somebody who hasn't dressed well and just magnify them and say, Hey, what dress, Papa? Hey, wow. A t-shirt and one say, wow. People can pretend to hype you in a way. They are just waiting for your distraction. But I'm for the bizarre. Natalia, what is saying? So we are not Natalia way. Minia, we are too much. We are guy. Hey, Minia. Hey, Minia. What do you? Jesus. Now wait. Saturday, winya. Now they say hair, black. That's all Gina so. Minia. Now winya pons and lipstick red. Send your can. Oh, send your don't forbid jelly. Or the James so to say no matter for baby before because. And trust me, if you work with such a person, you can be rejected than being received. There are places that are designed for you to dress discipline. If you dress anyhow, nobody will call you. Not because you lack favor. How you've dressed, you are not qualified for the place. Listen, when you meet a madman, nobody tells you he's a madman. You look at how the madman has dressed, and you can classify, qualify, and call him names because of how he looks like. Please, listen. You are addressed by the way you dress. You are respected by the way you dress. Dress responsibly. Dress with modesty as a woman. Don't dress like a prostitute. Let men respect you. See, how you dress will determine the kind of men that calls you. Listen, Queen Elizabeth has never been half naked. Obama's wife has never been naked. Rawlins's wife has never been naked. Bahumia's wife has never been half naked. And yet they are married to great people. You have been naked all your life, but you have been attracting fake people. You see, this is the truth. I am bold to tell you the truth because I am matured in the things of God. Now, the sad thing about the church is that if you preach messages like this, there are young girls who can leave the church because they don't feel comfortable. Half of the guests are actually doing prostitution in the church. If you enter the church, so what you see can expose you. Anytime you get an opportunity to speak the truth, tell the truth, speak the truth. Don't lie because of their faces. Don't be intimidated because of their friendship. If people will hate you because you told them the truth, your reward is in the hands of God. Listen, don't hate people for no reason. If there is somebody to hate, hate people who tell you evil things all the time. So a spiritual, matured person, you speak the truth at all times.